I have the pleasure to invite His Excellency Mr. Dennis Francis, President of the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly, to present his remarks.
Distinguished members of the head table, Excellencies, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by thanking the permanent observer of the African Union, Ms. Fatima Kyari Mohammed, and the Special Advisor on Africa, Ms. Cristina Duarte, for their kind invitation to join you today. The theme of this year's Africa Dialogue series, Education Through Science, Technology, and Innovation, Towards the Africa We Want, could not be more opportune. Education is a fundamental human right, and it is key to unlocking all other human right opportunities, including social, economic, cultural, political, and civic rights. It is therefore no accident that both the AU's Agenda 2063 and the UN's 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development recognize its transformative power and have prioritized education as a critical enabler of inclusive growth and development, an emphasis that also aligns closely with the calls to action for investment in education towards the full implementation of SDG 4, made on the occasion of the Transforming Education Summit held in September 2022. From gender equality and empowerment of women and girls to decent work, equal pay, and even the ownership of land, it all builds on the hard-won gains achieved by many African countries themselves to improve access to education and promote gender parity in primary school enrollment. Amid the cross-currents of technological change, armed conflict, climate and geopolitical shifts shaping societies today, we must work together in solidarity to ensure education systems are anchored in the values that are timeless and processes that are fit for purpose across the board. We know that access to inclusive quality learning in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is particularly effective in spurring an uptake in homegrown solutions to sustainable development. This makes STEM education a central element in harnessing the full potential of Africa's vibrant and burgeoning youth population. By 2050, 1 in every 4 people and more than a third of the world's young people aged 15 to 24 are expected to be African. To realize Africa's ambitions, it is essential that we address the bottlenecks stifling the potential of its national education systems, particularly in STEM-related fields, among others, inadequate infrastructure, insufficient qualified teachers, and funding. More broadly, we must enhance the stability and resilience of African societies, doing more to attenuate the devastating effects of external shocks, from conflict to climate change, on the functioning of national education systems. And we must wake up from our stupor of the ballooning debt crisis, which is forcing many African countries to divert critical public funding from education towards the servicing of exorbitant interest payments. This difficult choice is snuffing out the policy space needed to promote growth and social equity, an unjust contortion of priorities no country should be forced to make. Indeed, between 2020 and 2023, only 12 countries met the benchmark of allocating at least 15% of total public expenditure and 3% of GDP to education. To turn things around, we must deliver on inclusive financing for development, anchored foremost in domestic resource mobilization systems that are robust and consistently effective, strengthening partnerships among governments, civil society, youth and women's associations, the private sector and development partners will be crucial if we are to enhance the resilience of national education systems and maximize their role in driving transformation across the African continent. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, as I conclude the Summit of the Future in September, when world leaders are expected to forge a new global consensus on tackling global challenges, will be a key moment to make progress on the future of education. We cannot miss this opportunity to ensure that Africa's young people are well equipped with the knowledge and skills they need to prosper. We must encourage scaled-up international cooperation in information and knowledge sharing in order to ensure that skilling, reskilling, and upskilling opportunities keep pace with the winds of change permeating our societies. This level of cooperation is critical for advancing the adoption and implementation of meaningful science, technology, and innovation policies. It would go a long way to bridging the digital divide that permeates the crisis of access, invigorating Africa's education systems, and encouraging research and slowing the brain drain across the continent. With a determined focus, STI can propel Africa's industrial development, sparking holistic economic transformations that offer more and better job opportunities for all. Education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world, in the words of Nelson Mandela. Together, let us ensure that people everywhere have access to the benefits of science and technological progress. Let us unlock the full potential of STI as a driver towards the Africa we want. I wish you a productive meeting and look forward to learning about the outcomes of your deliberations. Thank you.